Hey everyone, my name is Alexandra and I am a watercolor artist. Welcome back to my series, Cozy Christmas Cards in Under 10 Minutes. For part one of this year's series, we are going to be painting Christmas trees. Let's get started. For supplies today, you guys will need 2 cups of water. I have one for clean, one for dirty water, a napkin for drying your paintbrush. For paintbrushes, I'm using Princeton Rounds numbers 2 and 6. Watercolor paper, I have 140 pound cold press watercolor paper. And for paint, I'm using Philisophy and Co's terrain palette. For this one specifically, you guys are welcome to use honestly any colors that you want for your trees. I'm going to be using a mix of green, red, and sort of this gold yellow color. For this painting, we are going to be doing 3 different Christmas trees on our paper. So I'm gonna start with my number 6 paintbrush. And for my first tree, I'm gonna use a green paint here. So I'm just gonna mix in my vine leaf. And I'm mixing it with a little bit of the balsam color. And I'm just gonna jump right in with the tree that's in the center. So essentially what I'm doing for this tree is I'm doing curved strokes that are gonna come down and out. And I'm just keeping my strokes nice and loose, making sure that I have enough water on my brush. And they're getting wider as I head towards the bottom. So you'll see that not all of them are the same length. They're not all perfectly uniform, but I'm just working my way down with these. And it's okay if you get a little bit of a dry brushing technique. And as I near the bottom here, I'll bring some of them straight down and then we'll curve the rest out. I'm just going to touch up the top a little bit here. By adding a little bit more to make it more full. Okay, so we're gonna leave that for our first tree. We'll add some more details as we go. Before our second tree, we're gonna do something a little bit different. So I'm using my small number 2 paintbrush. And the idea with our trees is you're imagining a triangle that you're gonna fit your tree into. So I'm gonna do my second tree on the right-hand side here. And I'm gonna use a mix of colors. One of them will be the green that I was just using so that I can tie in all of my trees together. And for this one, we're painting tiny little lines just to give the shape of the tree. So starting from the top, I'll match where the top of my other one is, and I'm painting little straight lines coming out. So to start, I'm actually just gonna paint the lines on the outside so I can get the shape of my tree. And once I have that baseline, then I'm gonna go in with my brush and add more just small lines all throughout. Now I'm gonna go in with my yellow color here. If you find that your yellow seems a little bit too cold, you can mix it with a tiny bit of red and it'll give it more of that gold color And we're just going to continue on in our tree. And now we'll do the exact same idea with some red. So for our third tree on the left hand side here, I'm going to stick with my smaller brush. And for this one, I'm going to go into my green again. And I'm just going to start by painting a straight line coming down. And from that line, we are just going to paint curved lines sticking out. With this one, I'm going more controlled with them, making it a little bit more uniform than I did with my first tree. It can get bigger as we head towards the bottom. Okay, so now that I've done that, we want to make all of our trees a little bit more uniform. So we're gonna go in with a brown paint and paint the tree trunks. You guys are welcome to mix a brown paint from the colors that you have. I just grabbed one from another palette. So I'm gonna go into it, I'll mix it onto my palette. And with each of my trees, I'm going to give them a little brown tree trunk sticking out. So I'm essentially just doing a small little rectangle coming out the bottom. And this is just gonna make all of your trees look more uniform. And again, with these, you guys don't have to worry about them being too perfect of a shape. With this one here specifically, I'm just gonna actually extend this green line and make it brown at the bottom. And now we're gonna paint a little gold star on top of each tree. So you can mix up what your stars look like. On this first one, I am just gonna paint a cross, and then I'll add some more lines to it to make it look more like a star there. The second one here, I'm gonna paint more of an intentional star shape. And I'm gonna do the same with this one here. And now with my one on the left here, I'm just gonna add in some little ornaments. So I'm doing some circles with the yellow. We just really wanna tie all these in together with the different colors that they have. And now I can do the same idea with my red paint and add some red ornaments. And now one of the last things I'm gonna do before we finish is just add a little bit more detail to this middle tree. I just want it to stand out a little bit more. So I'm actually mixing my green with just a touch of red here. And I'm gonna use my smaller brush and follow that same idea that I did initially with those brush strokes, but we're just adding a little bit more shading to our tree, making it look more full. So you can see I'm being intentional to leave the green color there that I had at first still showing through, but we're just adding some more lines on top. Now at this point, if you guys want to write something on the bottom, you're more than welcome to. You can add Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, but that is all we have for our card in under 10 minutes. This is something that's so easy to make. You guys can mix and match with any colors that you want. And yeah, it's such a nice, simple thing to be able to give to people for Christmas. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you followed along, make sure to take a picture of it and send it to me on Instagram at Alexandra Victoria Studio. I love to see what you guys are creating. Otherwise, stay tuned for part 2 next week of cozy Christmas cards in under 10 minutes. We'll see you next time.